Therefore, you don't even need a license.
Usually you're going to spend money or make money in that car somewhere. You're either going out to eat, spend money, or go pay money, or you're going to work to make money. That's why they also get you, when they bust you with selling weed or some drug, well, they get you for trafficking. It's commerce.
Right.
When you're driving a car, you're driving through what? It's also called what? Traffic.
It's a term for people that drive on the street, and it's a term that separates those that have a birth certificate, social security cards,
sovereign citizen.
That's what it's another one, not because I'm reading like a couple of years ago, got the word.
Oh, okay. Well,
I mean, but it pretty much runs along this.
Because there's a big movement in America going on with that, right?
Well, the FBI labels the sovereign citizens as terrorists, man.
Right? Yeah. Because they know their rights. So you're a terrorist if you know your rights. See, if you're dumb, like the mass of these people, they're not on the terrorist list because they're dumb. You're only a threat. Why is it that when you capture somebody, right, and you capture like 3 people, you separate them instantly. You don't keep them together because then 3 heads are better than 1. You separate them, right? So the ones that are wise in this society, they separate them. They say, okay, you're a terrorist. We're going to put you over here so you don't influence the rest of these sheep.
Yeah, that's a hate group.
You see what I'm saying? Because the rest of these people are sheeple.
Not the process, but I agree that happens.
Right, and America's going to do that real soon.
Well, that's what they did when they first came over here. You got to remember, even when they brought you guys over here, they took it, they separated son from father, so you couldn't teach, man. Even us Indians, man, they separated us, sent us to schools, separated our children, sent them to learn English, and they destroyed our heritage so that we forgot who we were. We forgot we were Israelites, just the way you forgot you was an Israelite. That's how they did it. They destroyed you.
But you know what? I got a question real quick before I leave. You're talking about Cro-Magnon man. This is why I believe that they were, people of color. Native Americans supposedly left Siberia and Russia.
But that's false.
And made it here between 15 to 20,000 years ago, right?
Supposedly.
Most people agree with the 15,000 to 18,000 year ago date. Now, you know for sure they've been here based on Clovis points that go back about 14,000 years ago.
I'd say we've been here about
Australia to southern Mexico. Now, if you look at Native Americans, you look at their cave art, etc. Do you agree, and I'm not being racist, that they were generally much darker complexion people than Leif Erikson?
No, because the Vikings, see, that's a lie of history. The Vikings were dark-skinned people, so-called black. History, yes, history is lied to you.
1000 AD?
Listen. Just because they show you a TV show of Leif Erikson with blonde hair, or Thor and all that, they're lying. They're showing you lies because history is his story, the victor's story. The so-called white man, majority of them. The reason why I say majority is because not all so-called white men are actually from the line of Esau.
But you're a smart man, so I know you up on your read. You know damn well that they're still rewriting history right now, are they not?
Yeah.
Okay then.
So to the victor goes the spoils.
History, man.
To the victor goes the spoils. So when the so-called white man came here and conquered the Native American, he rewrote history to suit him. That's why everybody great in history, in the movies, Pharaoh of Egypt. What color were the pharaohs in Egypt?
White.
No, historically, on the hieroglyphics, what color were they? Dark as you, right?
Dark color.
Dark. But in the movies, Ramesses played by a damn Italian or something. You know, the last Mohican was played by an Italian. Okay.
Never seen that movie, but I know what you're talking about.
Right. Okay. The Mexican. Brad Pitt was in the Mexican. You see what I'm saying?
No. My favorite one is
The Last Samurai.
The Last Samurai. Tom Cruise.
You took
Tom Cruise.
That was my favorite.
I seen Luke.
What's the movie Tom Hanks starred?
My brother had that movie. I never seen it.
So look.
Earth star Tom Hanks.
Look, we gonna since they always want to put themselves in the movies, we're gonna make a movie called The Last Nigga on Earth starring Tom Hanks. How's that? Paul Mooney said that. I was just going for that.
All right, so here's my question then. So Native Americans, forget the Vikings.
They didn't go to they didn't cross through the
Barren
Straits. That's a lie. Get 2nd Ezra 13
tells you how long
and 40.
It took us to get here.
What happened is, so you mentioned Tiglath Pileser, right? Now, the Assyrian, they captured the 10 tribes, which the 10 tribes would be the so-called Latinos today and the so-called Native Americans today, right? Just so you can understand today. They captured them. So Judah, which was the so-called Negro, went to Babylon, and the so-called Hispanic and Native Americans went to Assyria under captivity, under your man, Tigris, and all that.
Native Americans went to Assyria?
The so-called Latinos. They were captured. They were captured by Assyria, okay? And they were enslaved. So the Bible tells you that eventually they sought to themselves that they were going to leave.
After they got our freedom.
And yeah, after they were served their freedom papers, they took boats and they sailed from, I wish I had a map. If this is Africa, right? They went from here, they went under the Horn of Africa into the Americas. And it says it took, well, we're going to read it. It says it took them a year and a half.
Go back, hold on, do that again, so I'm trying to follow that. You said,
if this is Africa,
right?
Okay, they came from, Assyria was over here, right? East. Right. So they sailed underneath the Horn of Africa into the Americas, South America, Central, and North America.
Wouldn't it be easier for them to go straight east through the Pacific to get to America? Rather than take
how you have to cross through, you have to cross through,
Asia.
You have to go around like, no, that wouldn't.
Because if they in Assyria, okay, they'd have to go, let me see.
They went around Cape Horn.
Hit the Mediterranean.
And they went straight.
Go past Southern Europe and North Africa. They keep straight, which would be a long way.
No, you don't even mess with Europe, man. You don't mess with Europe. When you go to the Horn of Africa, you can cut straight over to North America.
Bam. South America's right there. South America, Africa, like West Africa, Mali, Nigeria, all that. It's right there. I mean, it's like, you know.
So they went through the Indian Ocean.
It took them, them a year and a half. It took them a year and a half. Let's read this.
They went to the Indian Ocean.
Let us show you.
That's what the Horn. Okay,
this is
southeast, basically.
Now check what the Bible. Check what the Bible says.
Second Esdras 13 and 40. Those are the 10 tribes.
The 10 tribes, so-called Latino and Native American today,
which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanassar the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. But they took this counsel among themselves.
Came after.
Okay.
Shalmaneser and then Sargon II.
Okay, I'm corrected. You correct me. Go ahead. That's cool.
But they took this counsel among themselves, and they would leave the multitude of the heathen.
So they said they were going to leave that area. Go ahead.
And go forth into a further country.
A further country, not further east, but further west. Go ahead.
Where never mankind dwelt.
Because realize that eastern region, that's called the old world. Europe, Middle East. This is the new world. It's called the new world because it wasn't inhabited. Now, don't get me wrong, peoples came to America, but they did not settle permanently in America. You understand? So many peoples have traveled to America and gathered from America, but they did not permanently inhabit America.
Like the Olmec heads.
Yes, exactly. Even the Chinese. 3,000. Even the Chinese came to America at one point to gather. So many people have traveled to America to gather the resources because America was a paradise with gold, all kind of precious metals and everything. So they came, but they never permanently settled. That's why the Olmecs left the head there to say like when you go to a bathroom,
we was here.
Tone was here. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? That's like what they only more sophisticated.
So make sure I follow you. You're saying America was a barren continent where people just basically hit or came over here sometimes. You had certain people that stayed up.
Not even deep, man. They were just hitting the shoreline.
But it wasn't permanently inhabited for many generations. That's what I'm saying.
That's interesting. I never heard it put like that before. It's a dude named Glenn Beck. He used to be on Fox News.
Glenn
Beck teached on the Native Americans.
He also showed you this thing called a Moabite stone, which is a big stone with ancient Paleo-Hebrew written on it that the Native Americans had.
Not the Moabite stone. The Moabite stone is where the king of Moab's talking shit about kicking the house of
No, it's called, you're right. It's called the Lost Luna stone.
They had the Back Creek stone.
The Back Creek stone,
The Back Creek stone.
You got a bunch of them.
Yeah. When I first heard him speak speak on that on Fox News, and I was like, damn, I never heard
So
of
And
that.
he even proved that the Native Americans were Hebrew
We are
speakers.
Israelites, but they it's delusion because you got to remember this is all spiritual that the Lord wanted us destroyed. Even like the Lord said, I should put a ring of iron around your neck till thou be destroyed. Right? How were you destroyed? You weren't destroyed instinct-wise. You forgot who you were, man. You forgot your heritage. You know, you Jews, man, but you forgot. You're the real Jews.
Hey, how you doing?
Jews in the Bible, man. These other people are fake. They call themselves.
Let him finish this.
See, I can't get that carbon dating out of my
But hold on, hold on.
Let's
Let's deal with
finish
this real
this real
quick.
quick.
Real quick, go ahead.
Verse 42, that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land.
Right.
And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river.
So this is how they took the trip, through the narrow passages of the Euphrates. Go
What book
ahead.
is this?
The Apocrypha,
This is
which
the-
was in the Bible. They got taken out of the King James 1611. Go ahead.
For the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood.
Right, because around the Horn of Africa there are rough waters, very rough waters for sailors. But the Most High showed a sign; He held still the water so they can make an easy passage. Go ahead.
Till they were passed over.
Uh-huh.
For through that country there was a great way to go.
Right.
Namely, of a year and a half.
So it took them a year and a half to get from Assyria to South America, Central America, North America. Go ahead.
And the same region is called Arsareth.
Arsareth, it means another land. That's all it means. Go ahead.
Then dwelt they there until the latter time.
Until the latter time, which is until, right, even to this very day.
Yeah, you're still here.
Is there any more?
And now when they shall begin to come.
That's it. All right, we gotta go ahead and pause.
All right.
Good conversation.